Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and here I am in the car, sitting outside of Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland, getting ready to get in line for the Steve Orlando signing. Steve Orlando is coming in for at least the second time in the last year, and I missed the first signing. But this time, I've got some Scarlet Witch books that I want to get signed, so I'm going to go in there and meet Steve Orlando for the first time. So I'll film what I can film, and then I'll go home and I'll get all the books bagged and boarded, and then we will do a little show and tell. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I just finished up at Third Eye Comics and I had a great time. It was really cool getting to meet Steve Orlando for the first time there. He's been there before, but I've missed those signings. And I did have a few books to get signed, but they did put limits on the signing today because the other person signing, and I hadn't mentioned him before, was Chef José Andrés. And he is a world famous chef. He's got Michelin restaurants down in DC. My wife knew who he was. I had honestly no idea. It's not my thing, but wow, he brought out the crowd. There were so many people there just to see him that had no idea what a comic book really even was. But they were there for the premiere of this graphic novel that the two of them worked on together, and the benefits, the proceeds, or at least part of it, go to help feed world hunger, right? And I will talk a little bit more about that once I get home, but it was super cool. I did pick up that graphic novel, and I did get a couple books signed, just not all of the books I wanted signed by Steve Orlando, but he's been here before, so I'm sure he'll be back at some other point. So let me get home, let me get those comics out of those window bags that I use. I'll put them into some fresh bags and boards, and we'll sit down and do a little show and tell. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Much later.
All right, guys, so I finished up at the signing at Third Eye Comics with Steve Orlando and Chef José Andrés. And I had a great time there, though I was a little disappointed in only being able to give Steve Orlando a couple of comics. Now, I didn't have a lot of comics for him to sign, but I did have a few more. But I cut it down to 2 like they asked, and I tell you, it was a big deal. I hope you enjoyed some of that video footage there. So one of the things that got signed was the big hardbound graphic novel that they were promoting. This was the launch for this book that they worked on together called Feeding Dangerously. And one of the things that Chef José Andrés has done in his life has been getting food to the hungry. And many of the people that have worked with him have been killed, and it's feeding dangerously. It is not safe in a lot of parts of the world to be able to be humanitarian. And I don't know a lot about it, but this was a launch for this book. And this book was the proceeds, or at least part of the proceeds, were going to go back to his foundation to help feed world hunger. Anyway, let me show you the book. It is Feeding Dangerously, Chef Jose Andres and Steve Orlando. They wrote the book, and it's illustrated here by Alberto Ponticelli. And haven't had a chance to read it and everything, but let me show you where they signed. Right here, we've got both the signatures right there. So that was pretty cool. It wasn't cheap, but knowing that the proceeds go to a very worthy cause, that was pretty cool. But as I said, I also got 2 books from Steve Orlando. And what do I get signed? I kind of wish I mean, if these 2 books were already previously signed by other creators, if I hadn't done that, I might have changed it up a little bit. But the first one here, this is not the one I would have done, but I had gotten, what is his name? Casey Smith, the artist on the interior of Avengers Assemble #1 here. He signed that right here up at Philly Fan Expo. And up there is Steve Orlando, who wrote this. So, and you can tell I still had all the books. I haven't even put them back in a bag and board yet. It is still in that window bag. It's a regular bag and board, but I have used painter's tape, and I cut out the area here so the artist can sign within this area. My book is protected, and I do this whether I'm getting books graded or not. I just want my books safe when I'm handling them in this situation, no matter what I want to do with them in the end. So there's that one. And then this one, I probably would have got it signed anyway, but it is from the last run of the Scarlet Witch. This is issue #1, the variant cover by Jenny Frison. And as you can see, I've got her signature right there. And then Steve Orlando signed it right up there. And that was it, guys. That's everything I got signed at this signing. It was good to see a lot of people I know there, but boy, I tell you, Jose Andres brought out the people. He had security, he had an entourage. I mean, I was about the 6th or 7th person to walk into that store. I'm used to having the artist sitting there. I'm used to the Third Eye people there that are going to be doing the handling, as well as the people at the counter to take care of any purchases. And that's about it. This place was packed. There must have been another 15 other people in there, and they were definitely part of this entourage. And I know there was at least 1 security guard there. So kind of cool. They went through pretty fast. Didn't have much of a conversation with either one of them. So it'll be interesting. When I'm filming this right here, I haven't gone back and looked at the footage. So it'll be interesting to go back and see what I actually put into the video right there. But guys, I hope you enjoyed that part of it. Hope you enjoyed all of today's episode. And if you did, I definitely hope you give me a like, and then slap that subscribe and click on that notification bell so you guys won't miss any of my future episodes that I put out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. All right, guys. Thank you for being here today, and definitely leave me a comment in the comment section. I don't want to forget that. Let me know if you know about Chef Jose. Do you know about his causes? I would love to know more about him. Definitely leave me that comment in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing Steve Orlando return again to Third Eye. He was here last year and I couldn't make it. And I actually ended up with, I bought one of his Scarlet Witch books off the stand because I'd missed picking it up. And it turned out one of them was already signed. So I actually have a Steve Orlando book signed already, including now these 2 more. So I eventually want to add him to the Marvel book and get some of the other Scarlet Witch books signed as well. But we'll do that hopefully someday soon. Anyway, guys, it's been a great day. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you for the next show. Just remember, guys, though, every comic has a story.